Okay, my name is Mark Diggin. My main medium would be acrylic paint on canvas, but also on board.
My name's Ciara Nolan, and I kind of vary in mediums. When I'm painting, it's usually acrylic, but I also do a little bit of felting and photography and I'll try anything really.
I did oil mainly for the first couple of years, but it takes forever to dry. And sometimes, you find you've got paint everywhere. So with acrylic, it's okay. Oil is the boo-goo medium, and I like the thickness in oil, and you can actually really do layers on it. But patience is a virtue, and I don't have a huge amount of patience. So with the acrylic, using a bit of a hairdryer, you can actually get the effect. And now I'm using thick acrylic, which is like you can actually bring it down to a bit more fluid, but it starts as thick, so you get a bit of, it's the same feeling as oil.
What I loved about photography was you just go in a different zone. And it's like I used to laugh, my daughter now does art as well, and I said, do you ever feel, when you're just in that zone, like I'd be taking shots, I'm taking different angles, and suddenly you just know that's the shot, and you go into this space and you just keep taking it. And so like with that art, that's what I love about art. That was when you get into painting as well, and you're oblivious of time and everything that's going on around you.
Your best bit of painting that you do is probably the last piece you've just done that you haven't binned. So you get pleasure out of actually doing the work, and you think, wow, I'm delighted to finish that. Then you might look at it for a couple of weeks and say, ugh, that's rubbish. And then you might try and improve on it or whatever. And then some things are very nice indeed. So that's just pleasurable. And it's nice in a group like our Papillon group here. It's very nice to paint in a group as opposed to trying doing it on your own.
I think Signal is a great facility in Bray. I suppose because I don't live too far away, so I pass it regularly, and I'm always having a goo in the window. And I love the fact that my kids have been here too, and it's kind of like full circle, kind of me coming back to it then as well myself. I just like the whole relaxed kind of natural kind of community feel about it.
Art is a sharing experience, I think, more than an introvert thing. If you're in a group, they say, well, why don't you tweak it here or tweak it there a bit? I can't get that colour, why? So that's why it's better in a group. It's okay still to go and paint on your own, because you might have a couple of ideas and you might have time and you can just go and do that. But it gives you a fixed structure if you're here on a Saturday morning. So it doesn't matter if the world is falling apart. It's like a time management, Saturday morning, that's where I am.
It was community based as well. That was Jill's whole idea, was that it was a community class. The age group was from, I'd say, 20 up to 80. So it was a nice variety. So there was a great freedom in what we painted. And that's what I liked about it as well. It wasn't too serious, it was enjoyable. And then kind of when you're relaxed, you kind of sometimes it just brings out more in you, or more of your own individuality.
Group Papillon art, very briefly, I just mentioned Jill Mack. She's a South African. She was in her mid-50s at the time. She's tutoring and painting for many years. She had started this group. I was, as I say, I was in it for about two and a half years. And unfortunately, she went off to, I think it was Bristol, for a birthday party, a 60th birthday party, and unfortunately didn't come home. So we had very little knowledge of what was going on. The Signal art, we're just told that she was no longer with us.
We wanted to continue as a group after Jill. None of us would have met each other if it hadn't been through Jill. And we became quite a close-knit little group. And we never got to say goodbye to Jill or to kind of let her husband or anyone know that we valued what she taught us, and that had brought us together. She'd booked a Christmas dinner for us all together, and and a summer lunch, and it was lovely that it was art plus it was social. So so our exhibition then is kind of in the same vein that we all did our own subject matter, so nobody has to do a butterfly or has to do a boat or whatever. But people bring their own interest then into it. There
wasn't a memorial for Jill and all this, so it's a way. Papillon, the name Papillon was picked because it's renewal, new birth. And this is a way of us just putting a Papillon up, a small image of Jill Mack as well as a memory to our group. And now we can feel we can move on once we've done that as a group itself.
The exhibition is kind of very varied, kind of in the subject and the size and the experience, and you'll see that because there's some really good experienced painters in the group, and then there's beginners, and then there's others finding our way, you know. So it's, I hope that people, somebody like myself, will be walking around, wants to join something, sees that, oh, I could do that, you know. And the fact that Jill said everybody is putting a piece in the exhibition. It wasn't she was going to select this piece or that piece. It was always about everybody's doing a piece. So it was very inclusive.
We had started, there was an artist called Lynn Kennedy who was working upstairs at the time, and we asked her to do a session with us on poetry. And we had another guy, Niall, I've forgotten his second name, but he was doing fairly sizable landscapes, and to invite him in to do it. So we're going on, we just about started going like this, like every 3 or 4 weeks or something, invite sort of a demonstration and a tutoring. And it hasn't got rolling yet, but maybe with things now opening up, we would like to expand that type of idea that, you know, we could watch somebody, how they do it. I've 1 or 2 artists in my head that we might just approach and see if they will come out on a Saturday morning and do an hour of a demonstration, and then questions and answers, something like that, and then do our own group